Hey y'all. So just real quick, I wanted to hear, with all this going on, I noticed I hadn't seen any videos coming through the news feed with Corey Minor's opinion on this. I was just really curious to say what does he think of this, because he's very, he speaks on a lot of topics like this, things like this that are going on. So I clicked in, and I just want to say, I noticed, okay, so there was a question proposed: can a Christian be a racist? Number one, let me just say no. But he kind of wanted to give some examples of how a Christian can have some racialized views, but it's not, they're not really racist at heart. And I can agree with that, right? But I want to say this, though. He used some of the examples he used. I don't think I disagreed in a sense, like when he used Miriam and Aaron and said like they were racist, or they had that, they had like a racist view towards Moses' Cushite wife. But that wasn't a racial thing. That was national. It wasn't racial. It was national, because Miriam, they were Israel, and the Cushite woman was not. That was her nation, because she was from another nation. I don't believe at all that the Bible does not indicate that it had anything to do with so-called race. I don't even think race was a consideration in those times. Race is a pretty modern concept. It's a pretty modern, what do they call it? Social construct, right? Okay, so that's one. The other one that he brought up was, so it was Miriam and Aaron, and then it was Jonah. Like I said, anyone who's been listening to me, God led me to Jonah, to study Jonah one day. And I've thought about that too, about, Jonah has some prejudice there, but it still wasn't a race thing. It was also a nation thing. Like, okay, these people are from outside Israel, and not only are they from outside Israel, they're evil. Not only are they evil, they're evil towards us. They're evil towards Israel. So, yes, Jonah had his biases that were very strong rooted, because he understood the nature of God, though. Here's the thing. How does Jonah end? It ends with him saying, God, you're so merciful, you're so kind, you're so compassionate, and I knew you were going to do this. So there's still, the character of God still comes through, even in Jonah, right? Okay, the other person he mentioned was Peter. How Peter didn't want to go to the Gentile nations. No, he didn't. Yes, he was very prejudiced, in fact. And what happened? Here's the thing, though. The Holy Spirit checked him hard. He got checked hard. So there's still no excuses. No excuses can be made. No one can say, okay, maybe some of what they're saying is true. Nope, because Peter was prejudiced, and the Holy Spirit checked him hard. And the other one was he used Paul calling the Cretans lazy brutes. Okay, that's a little harsh. It was, but obviously they were. Here is the thing: Black people aren't all lazy. Okay, so when you're now, and again, even if you do see certain characteristics in certain groups, and we do, we're not blind. Okay, we all see certain characteristics in certain racial groups. We have our biases, but it's when it's coming from an impure place, when it's coming from a place of like, I am just criticizing you, ridiculing you, and I don't like you. When it's coming from that place, there's a problem. That's the issue. Okay, to say, to say Black people are lazy. No, it's not. Yeah, that's not the same as what Paul was saying. Because why? Because there are more not lazy Black people than there are lazy Black people. Black people are hard-working people, and you're not going to make it anything else. I just don't care. I've been working myself since I was 12. And you know what I mean? Like, that's why I there's just certain things you can't tell me, because I know, like, I've seen the things that go on even in the workplaces, until, now I'm in a different position. But I've known hardworking Black people my whole life. My whole entire life. Okay, so yeah, there's just certain things that it's because it's just it's not even true. It's the problem, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to touch. I listened to that and I was like, that's interesting. I see how he's, you know, I'm not disagreeing with him and what he's trying to convey, you know, saying that, hey, you know, this can be in anybody, but it doesn't make them, and, you know, it doesn't mean they're not saved. It, you know, just means that there's something, you know, they can have some racist views. And I didn't even finish watching the rest of it because, I don't know, when he got to the Peter thing, I was like, wait a minute. The Holy Spirit checked Peter. That's the whole point.